Warning, the following podcast features offensive material discussed either by professionals or under the supervision of professionals. Accordingly, the offenders must insist that no one attempt to recreate or reenact any of the material you hear on this show, or we will sue your ass for copyright infringement. Love the offenders. Guys, welcome back to the Offenders Podcast. I am Kyle, and joining me as always is Evan.
And joining me as always is Shane.
And I'm never joined by anyone. It's a lonely life.
So depressing.
Way to start out the show, assholes.
Yeah.
People are already depressed enough on the holidays.
I know, right? So that's why we're going to talk more about them.
Excuse me, on the Christmas, because there's only one holiday that has ever existed, and that's Jesus Christ's Christmas.
Well, some people don't want to celebrate Christmas, though.
What'd you say?
You're an enemy combatant. I'm part of the war on Christmas.
That's right.
See, and some people don't want to celebrate Christmas. And that's why what we're going to do this episode is we're going to give you alternative holidays that you could celebrate rather than Christmas in the month of December.
Tried and true holidays.
This is correct. Some of them you may have already heard about, and some other ones are ones that we personally celebrate that we're going to give to you so you can celebrate also if you choose.
Yes, because that's what we do. We don't just offend people. We have hearts. They're just buried under a lot of black flames of anger and retribution.
And jars and dirt in the backyard.
And old nudie magazines.
Well,
but
Evan,
they're there. They're there. God damn it.
Well, Evan, why don't you start off with the holiday that's about to happen? It probably already have happened by the time this episode's out, so you'll have to celebrate it next year if you miss it, but go ahead and let everybody know about the one that's happening tomorrow.
Okay, I would just like, in this holiday, I would like to explain it thusly. Did you hear that? Of course you didn't. That was a ninja killing somebody, high-fiving his best friend, and doing a backflip into a smoke bomb. That's right. Tomorrow is Day of the Ninja, December 5th. One of my favorite holidays since I am an actual practitioner of ninjutsu. And for those of you who don't know, who are not as big of a nerd as I am, Day of the Ninja is kind of a, let's say a Far East version of Talk Like a Pirate Day. Instead of talking like a pirate, you just act like a ninja. You sneak up on people, you do funny stuff in the name of the ninja, watch your favorite ninja movies, dress up like a ninja.
So rather than talking like a ninja, you just don't talk at all.
You can talk, ninjas do talk, but it's right before they kill somebody, so they can't ever tell somebody else what their voice sounds like.
But it has to be like one-line quips, like little witty things you say right before you kill somebody.
Yeah, like if Kenshiro were a ninja, he would say, "Omae wa mou shindeiru," and then he'd like summon a fucking giant toad to fall on somebody and kill them, instead of punching him 5,000 times.
I disagree. I think they have the most horrendous, bad, banal jokes in the world that aren't funny, but no one knows because the people are dead.
That's true. I also blame that on you watching Naruto.
So all ninjas are basically like failed comedians, is what you're saying?
Yes, they are. They weren't good at being funny, but they're really good at killing people.
That's right. Maybe.
So
who knows? Nobody can report. I sure as hell ain't telling trade secrets.
So how are you going to celebrate Day of the Ninja, Evan?
Well, in years past, which you will see up on Facebook soon, we what I like to do is just dress up like a ninja and go interfere in people's daily lives. Because, like for one year we went to the mall.
Are you sure you're not celebrating Day of the Asshole?
Well, it's Day of the Friendly Asshole, if anything else. Because it's kind of like when you work a retail job and somebody comes in and does something funny that's not annoying. It's like, I wasn't expecting that, but thanks. Now, those are pretty rare situations, probably as rare as hearing a ninja talk, because most of the time customers are annoying as shit, but
Yeah.
it does happen. So, for instance, I like to take pictures of myself as a ninja, doing mischievous things, playing guitar, doing cartwheels.
That's very mischievous.
It is.
Fucking guitar players. Especially
if somebody else is telling something very important to another very important person. Then all of a sudden it's like...
So, we need to get this nuclear arms deal done.
That's right.
Just right in the middle
Revenger. Revenge of the Ninja.
Oh my god.
That's what it is. But like tomorrow, one of the things that I plan on doing is free ninja hugs. And free ninja hugs is like free hugs, but the way that it'll work is I'm going to have a sign that says free ninja hugs, and I'll just be standing downtown. Well, when somebody comes up to try and hug me, my ninja buddy will run out from behind a tree or an alleyway and hug them from behind. That's one of the many things that you can do.
Oh, man. Somebody's going to get their ass beat.
That's going to result in someone
That's what we hope for.
dying.
That's exactly what we hope for.
Is that what you hope for? Someone
Yes.
die?
We hope
Let
for
me tell
somebody,
you what.
like, elbow, at least a good elbow.
Lots of people watch television, you see, and that's the kind of setup you see on television where someone is distracting you and you just get attacked from behind. So expect someone to get their ass beat.
I hope so.
Okay.
Because that's going to make for a hell of a great video.
Yes, it will.
And
I'd
probably
say-
it's some... Huh?
I'd say, yeah, I hope you have somebody recording this, because that'd probably get to put up on YouTube.
Yep.
You might need it in your trial, too.
And let's
Yeah.
make sure it doesn't have any fucking copywritten music, for fuck's sake. Because that shit will get taken down. Oh, that guy...
images.
Oh, fucking shit. But anyway, I'll probably do a lot of handshakes. Probably no baby kissing, because that's not really my style. A couple of high fives.
What about baby punching? I think ninjas would punch babies.
I don't think we need to. I think we just leave babies alone because they try to kill themselves anyway. It's the truth. You put a kid in a room and it's like, oh, look, there's a fucking power outlet. Let me go stick my tongue in it.
I mean, the first 10 years of your life is like basically realizing what not to do to stay alive.
Exactly. Just like training in ninjutsu.
So there's a little bit of ninja in everybody in that.
That's
aspect.
true. Absolutely. So you just run around, you have a good time, all in the name of the ninja. One time I was going to a concert and I dressed up as a ninja. Between the Buried and Me, which is this progressive death metal band, came to Macon. And my friend is an Army combatives instructor. And he saw me walking up there because he knew it was Day of the Ninja. And he runs up and he tackles me. So I'm like, oh, whatever. So he tries to put me in an arm bar. So I pulled down deep from my reserves, and I fucking picked him up with, like, I was laying on my side, and I just, like, put my arms around him, and I stood up. He was like, no, this is concrete! And I was like, that's what I thought. Day of the Ninja, motherfucker. Army Combative 0, Ninjutsu 1 million. Or over 9,000!
All right. So Day of the Ninja, December 5th.
Yes, every year.
Every year. So I guess you don't work tomorrow then.
Nope. I was thinking, but I do have a 5-year award tomorrow. I was really contemplating going up there and seeing the regional vice president dressed as a ninja and accepting my award. But that would probably get me fired. But it'd be funny as shit to everybody else.
Yeah, it probably would get you fired, especially considering who your regional is, if it's still who I think it is.
It is. Shit
Okay.
hadn't changed.
Okay, yeah. All right, so yeah, there's Day of the Ninja. If you want to celebrate early in December, you've got that on December 5th. Now, another one, and this one first appeared on television back in the 90s. And I don't think there's an actual day that it has to be celebrated on. It's just typically celebrated on the holidays, but it's called Festivus. Okay, Festivus for the rest of us, and it came from Seinfeld. And it originated when Kramer found out that George's father celebrated this as an alternative to Christmas. And there's several aspects that go into Festivus. One is you don't have a Christmas tree. You just have an aluminum pole. Because trees and tinsel are distracting. So if you want to celebrate Festivus, you just go get a big metal pole and you put it in your house.
What about strippers?
See, I think that's an alternative. Like, it could double. Like, if you have a lot of stripper friends, you could bring them over for your Festivus celebration.
I do hear that's a new workout that women are doing, like the pole dancing.
They can work out on my pole anytime they want. Hey-o!
Hey-o!
So maybe, it's like, oh, we're having a celebration. Come show us how you work out.
I've got this new workout I'm doing. It involves a pole. Everybody just turns and looks at each other. Tell us more about your pole workout.
Anyway, back to Festivus.
Yeah, so then there's the big thing of Festivus is there's a meal. And at this meal, you sit down and you have the airing of grievances. And basically what the meal is just everybody sits around and they tell each other what they've done that year that's pissed them off. I mean, that is like amazing. That's
like
what
a
we
regular
do on this show.
That's like regular holidays.
Yeah, I was about to say.
It's like every other holiday.
But see, the difference, though, in regular holidays and Festivus is that in the regular holidays, people, like, sugarcoat stuff. It's basically that whole kind of, like, People are kind of putting it under the undertones of being negative. But Festivus, that's not there. You just straight come out and say it. You don't hide it under like, well, if you had done that earlier in the year, this might not have happened or whatever. In Festivus, like, you fucked up and this is why you fucked up and it's pissed me off all year long.
Dude, that is some houses on the things. But see, that's just because they're bullshitting themselves. They're not celebrating Christmas. They're celebrating fucking Festivus.
Yeah.
They just don't want to say it.
That's what it is.
And so then the end of Festivus, at the end, after the food and the airing of grievances, it does not end, though, until somebody can wrestle the head of the household to the ground and pin them. That's the feat of strength.
Dude, I would definitely like to go over to the Ultimate Warrior's house for Festivus just to hear him complain. He'd be like, "And at the gym today, 15 people tried to lift more than the Ultimate Warrior. But I tell you this, it cannot be done!" And then he would body slam them.
I was going to say, when you speak like the Ultimate Warrior, which that was pretty accurate, it makes me realize now that he might have Down syndrome.
Oh, God.
Because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like somebody with Down syndrome speaking.
Well, he did a lot of steroids. I don't know if that could cause, some kind of mutagenic effect. Mutation.
Yeah. Maybe it gave him Down syndrome. Like, maybe he caught it.
Yeah. That could be it. That could be it.
I mean,
Or maybe he was born with up syndrome and he was really smart, but the steroids not only shrunk his pee-pee, but it also shrunk his pituitary gland.
Oh.
Well, maybe he always thought with his dick, and when his pee-pee shrunk, he couldn't think as well. That's what it was.
Oh, man.
That's fucking great, though, because I'm a huge pro wrestling fan, so that would totally be awesome. That's my favorite part of Festivus so far.
You know who else I would like to go to their house for Festivus? Would probably be the Iron Sheik.
Yes! Yes! I couldn't wait to see that shit, man.
Did
you read the last thing that he posted last night?
What was it? It depends. Sometimes he posts stuff on Facebook he doesn't post on Twitter and vice versa. Which one are you talking about?
I'll have to paraphrase it. He's like, "Today is National Cookie Day, or Ultimate Warrior, paint your ass and eat shit, fuck you!"
Basically, like,
So he's caught threats.
No, he's caught unbelievable anger.
Nah, he's just
Sounds
old.
like threats.
He's just old.
He's just old. Because think about it. The older people get, the less they give a fuck about what they say. And then usually the more racist and mean they become, too. That's all it is. Maybe I'm old and I just don't realize it. Like, maybe I have like a 90-year-old man's mind in my body and I just didn't realize it. That's what the case is.
Some people
Peeper.
I've been watching too much anime. Some people, when they get older, they become more wise. Not Kyle. He becomes more old.
Maybe it'll be the
It's like, "Good morning, Kyle. Fuck you! You piece of shit! Get off my fucking lawn so I can throw up on it. Bleh! I'm not drunk. It was the fucking Barbaritos, you piece of shit. Always thinking I'm drunk, you fuck. Blah!
Oh, God, I hate you.
I want
Festivus.
to do the opposite.
What's that?
I want to go around like not being drunk or with drunk people when they tell me to drink. It's like, I can start anytime I want. Don't you give me shit. I can start anytime I want.
Don't you drive me to drink. I'll do it. I'll do it. I thought you were going to say you were going to get nicer, but that was a much better joke.
Yeah.
So that, a little bit of a tangent here. That kind of thing, whenever, I remember as a kid, you had like DARE or whatever your drug prevention group was as in elementary school, and they're talking about like, people are going to try to force you into these types of things. And they would show these videos of like kids like literally almost like trying to like take these fucking cigarettes and you smoke them right now. And talking about how much peer pressure there was. I don't ever remember anything like that.
Yeah,
all the bad situations I've ever been put in with peer pressure, I never remember anybody getting that adamant about like, you should really smoke these cigarettes, and if you don't, you're a fucking piece of shit. If you're like, hey, you want to try one? No, all right, cool. You want to drink? Nah, I don't really feel like it. Okay, cool. I don't ever recall a situation where I had somebody basically, forcing me to try to do drugs or smoke or drink or whatever.
One of my favorite things is like, I'm straight edge. I will always be straight edge. But I have to admit how fucking stupid this was. This was, I can't remember the name of it, but this girl smokes marijuana and she screams and jumps out the window of a fucking skyscraper and kills herself. And it's like, because she smoked marijuana, she lost her mind and killed herself.
Reefer madness.
Is that what it was?
That's what they called it.
That's what they called it.
Oh, man. Because it's like, there is no way. Unless by running through a window, you mean eating a shitload of fucking cookies and chips and killing yourself that way, that's possible. But jumping out of a window requires you getting your ass off the couch. Wasn't going to happen with a stone person.
Yeah, anybody who's ever been around somebody or who's ever done weed knows that is not going to happen.
It makes people use drugs more because, like, oh, well, if they're lying about that, then meth is probably not dangerous and crack either. You see, that's the problem. When you make up some bullshit that people can instantly tell is bullshit, they don't listen to the rest of the shit you say that might be true.
Because if weed killed people, trust me, we'd have said something about it by now.
God.
Yes!
Oh, so bad.
Yep.
So bad.
Had to get it in, at least one a show.
All right, so those are the two holidays that people have probably heard about, the alternatives to Christmas time. You got your Day of the Ninja, and you got your Festivus. But as I said before, we have our own holidays that we celebrate this time of year. Now, Evan, why don't you tell everybody about your holiday that you celebrate?
My holiday is a very spiritual holiday. Some would say it's a half a loaf of a holiday. Some would say it's a half a loaf of fruitcake, but I would disagree with them entirely. You know, people put things on the trees. They might put wooden men on there. You know, they might be in a rush. They may have to put it up in an hour. It would be a rush hour to get to their holiday, but not me. You know why? Because my holiday is Jackie Chanukah.
I got every one of those, too.
Thank you, Jackie.
Yeah.
Jackie Chanukah is on the day of Christmas, December 25th, a.k.a. Mithras' birthday. You
Saturnalia.
sit down. Yes, Saturnalia. I'm going to say something about that later. You sit down and you watch at least 3 Jackie Chan movies. You can give gifts. You can receive gifts. You can eat peppermint. You can get one of them fucking things with the 7 candles and the whirly-magig at the top, and the heat of the candles make the thing spin around, and then the little people do the dance. If you want to do that shit, that's fine. But all you're required to do, I'll show you later. I gotta find a picture of that thing, because that was a terrible explanation. But I fucking love those things on Christmas. But anyway, all you gotta do is watch 3 Jackie Chan movies. And me personally, I like to go around and insist that it's the true reason of the season. And I like to post pictures of Jackie Chan on people's walls, usually wearing a Santa Claus hat or with a Christmas tree. But that's just me, you know, my little mischief as it is. But you watch 3 movies on the day of Christmas. That's Jackie Chanukah.
See, I think you missed something here with that. So
What's that?
It's a play on the word Hanukkah, correct?
Well, it's sort of, but
Yes,
it's
it
not
is.
8 days long.
But see, that's the thing, is you could do 8 nights of Jackie Chan movies. Because he's got more than enough that you could watch 8 different movies in consecutive years. No problem.
That's very true. However, Jackie Chan is a man who knows about severe structured training. Many of the films, he was in the Shaolin Temple. And the Shaolin Temple is not about taking 8 days to do your exercises. You do all your fucking exercises in one day, and then you wake up and you do them all again. So you don't watch one film every 8 days. You watch 3 films in one day, and if you don't, you're just a wussy pants. You're nothing more than a patoot.
But see, you're really limiting your holiday, man. You're forcing it all into one day. You got to spread that shit out. That way, it's like more fun, more time. You can do more things, like maybe certain nights, like not only do you watch a Jackie Chan movie, but everybody does their best Jackie Chan impersonation and stuff like that, or some other kind of weird event you could do around Jackie Chan.
This is what Kyle said, completely ignoring that the last holiday was also only one day, but that didn't matter because it wasn't Evans, and Evans is a piece of shit.
Thank you, Shane.
Well, actually, no, it's going more back to the fact that Hanukkah is 8 days, and it's called Jackie Chanukah, which is basically supposed to be like Hanukkah, so why not actually live it up to the 8 days of it?
Because it's Chanukah, not Chanukah. It's like
Whatever.
read red, dude. It's 2 totally different words. But yes, who's to say what the true meaning of the holiday is? As long as you watch some Jackie Chan films and it's sometime in December, it's good enough because it doesn't have to be on the 25th. It can be on the 23rd, you know? And I'm not saying which movies you have to watch. Just choose 3 of them, or 4 or 5, whatever you want to do.
There's more than enough that you could easily choose all of those.
Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by the movies that he's not really in.
Like, was it Attack of the Killer Meteors?
Well, no, he's in that one.
He was a bad guy for like 2 seconds and he died.
At least he was in it, though. I hated the ones that's like, you know, it's like, it mentions Jackie Chan's in it. It's like, oh, I'll rent this movie. I remember at Blockbuster, there's a whole wall of them. It's like, oh, I'll rent this movie. Come back, watch it. Where the fuck's Jackie Chan? Oh, I see. Someone made a movie, and then they edited one scene from one of Jackie Chan's real movies into this movie.
Dude. What was that? Was it Magnificent Bastards?
I think that might have been. Yes, yeah. Magnificent Bastards was one of them.
It's like starring Jackie Chan for 5 minutes in one scene.
Even though that scene wasn't in this movie.
Right? Well, shit, I think on the Fearless Hyena Part 2, they took like 3/5 of the original Fearless Hyena film because he quit in the middle of it. And it's like, shit, we lost Jackie. We'll just use this old stock footage.
That's great.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's a pretty sneaky thing to do. They do that sometimes, too, with, like, directors over here. Like, they do a lot with Quentin Tarantino. He'll do a movie, and the next thing you'll see is they'll talk about, like, so-and-so movie with Quentin, from Quentin Tarantino. And you're like, I didn't know he had anything to do with that. He didn't have anything to do with it. He actually was just, like, one of the guys who works at the studio that said, yeah, y'all should bring this over here, and then they do. Not like he directed or anything. I've been used to, like, yeah, sure, it'd be cool.
Good thing I'm not affected by stuff like that. It's like, from the maker of so-and-so. Man, I don't give a shit. I really don't care.
Yeah. I'll probably go see pretty much anything that Quentin Tarantino puts out, because at least it'll have something funny in it, or something awesome.
Yeah, or something ridiculously racist.
That's true. However, that fucking, in Django Unchained, there's nothing as funny as the fucking Klan scene. That shit made me laugh so much.
Yeah. My wife spent all day.
I can't even see out of this fucking mask. Because you know that shit had to happen.
Yeah, that is one of the best scenes.
Man.
All right, so Jackie
Now that's mine. Let's move on to yours.
So, this time of year, people like to celebrate the Savior, Jesus Christ. But people forget that there's actually another Savior. And people actually even forget that Jesus really wasn't probably born in December. I'm not saying there was not a Jesus. I'm just saying it was not likely it was December. But this time of year, there's a man who has saved Christmas not once, but twice. Not only has he saved Christmas, but he's also saved the 4th of July. He is a holiday savior.
Yes.
That man that I'm speaking of is John McClane.
That's right.
Now, before you ask who is John McClane, I'll slap you in your fucking mouth for not knowing. John McClane is the character that Bruce Willis plays in the Die Hard movies. Now, some people are probably like, wait a minute, Die Hard? Yeah, Die Hard 1 and 2 are both on Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, to celebrate McClane, what you do is you sit down, Christmas Eve, you get some Twinkies, because we all know Twinkies were in the first movie. That was what Carl Winslow.
Yellow dye number 5.
Yellow dye number 5. Twinkies. You sit down some Twinkies, barefoot, because you want to be able to feel the ground like he did when he landed.
Make fists with your toes and feel the carpet.
A wife beater. And you watch Die Hard 1. Now, if you want to, you can watch Die Hard 2. Well, we'll admit Die Hard 2 is not as good as the first one.
I have a question. What if you're not friends with someone who abuses their wife?
God damn it, I was trying to figure out how to make that joke.
Shane, seriously, we live in the South. Everybody's friends with somebody who abuses their wife.
I'm pretty sure Chris Brown's not doing nothing, so you could just call him up.
But yeah, you sit down, you just watch the first Die Hard movie. I mean, because first off, it's like one of the most amazing pieces of 80s action movies ever. And,
Yep.
two, it celebrates Christmas in the right way by killing terrorists.
For freedom.
Can't be more American than that.
That's right.
I mean, shit, if you want to, you can celebrate it by watching the first two movies, and then on, the 4th of July, get your Christmas in July, watch the fourth movie where he saves the 4th of July, so.
You should be careful. That might become an official holiday if you go say it's about killing terrorists.
Yeah, right? That's the
my
reason
goal.
for the season right there. Just fucking go out and kill terrorists all the time.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. All right, but those are our holidays. Now
I did want to mention one more thing before we switch over.
Okay.
Saturnalia is a fucking awesome festival. Have you ever read up on it?
Yeah, that was what I was actually going to mention. You should go ahead on it.
Does it have something to do with death?
No.
It has. First off, let me tell you this. It has to do with Saturn.
That's why I asked if it had something to do with death.
Saturn, aside from being a big motherfucking planet, was a fucking god who was so cool he had 2 wives. Which leads me to believe that when you celebrate Saturnalia, if you're a holy woman, you better be careful. Because just because the priest won't lay you, don't mean that shit. If you're not careful, Saturnalia. And if he won't, Griffith gon' grind.
Oh, man. Fucked up your own joke.
I did. It's even better that I fucked it up.
See, I told you. Evan,
Yes?
what form of martial arts do you practice?
I just killed Shane because I'm a ninja
No
that
tell.
was silent.
There you go, see? He's a terrible comedian.
Oh,
He's a ninja.
yeah.
That is the joke.
That's true.
We planned that before the show.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly what. Because me and Evan plan everything we say
That's
and
right.
have complete recall of everything we say. We always remember it.
All right, first off, I know
Especially
that last
backyard
part's a
wrestling.
lie because Evan can't remember shit.
What are we talking about?
Yeah. But yeah,
Where am I? Why am I in this room?
Saturnalia. So for people who don't know what it was, according to Wikipedia, the leading source of information on the interwebs, it was an ancient Roman festival in honor of the deity Saturn held on December 17th of the Julian calendar and later expanded with festivities through December 23rd. The holiday was celebrated with a sacrifice at the Temple of Saturn in the Roman form and a public banquet, followed by private gift-giving, continual partying, and a carnival atmosphere that overturned Roman social norms. Gambling was permitted, and masters provided table service for their slaves. So basically, it was a day where you just gave gifts, partied, gambled, and then, if you were a slave, you actually got to pretend to be your master for that day. Or actually throughout the festival, I'm guessing.
That's
6
days. Funny as shit. I mean, it's cool, but that's also funny because they just be like, "It's my turn, motherfucker. Go out and empty my bedpan." Hey, now, I never said you could do that fucking shit.
Well, the day after this was over, that if you probably acted the fool like that, that was going to be your ass.
Literally, they probably cut off your butt cheeks so you can never sit down.
But so, yeah, Saturnalia is one of those holidays that took place around when Christmas would have been. And it's likely that a lot of the ideas of what Christmas is came from Saturnalia, like the whole gift-giving aspect of it. And then the other one,
was Saturn the guy that ate his kids?
That was
Uranus,
wasn't it? The sky god?
Yeah. I always think in terms of Greek, but that was the Roman
No, he's the
name
one
for
that
it, I
got castrated. I don't remember.
Uranus was the father that got castrated.
Yeah, there were several of them that ate their children.
Cronus was the Greek god, right?
Yeah.
So he would be a reflection of Saturn?
No, because Saturn... Well, it says Saturn was an agricultural deity who reigned over the world in the Golden Age. So,
hell yeah.
But yeah, the other holiday, too, that you mentioned that actually would have been the time when... Or would have been December 25th was the birth of Mithras.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Do you know anything about that?
He was one of the many people pieced together to come up with the Jesus myth.
Yeah, he was a...
Him and I think it was Horus and a couple of other people were taken in by the Nicene Council when they were deifying Jesus.
Yeah, he was... I want to say he was like a
He's Greek too, right?
No, I don't think he was Greek. I know there's a cult around him, and he was like a sun deity and stuff like that. Like basically, his story of
dying and coming back was the sun rising and setting, and so on and so forth.
Yeah,
I know that much.
So that's kind of where the part of the Jesus concepts came from for him. He might have been Roman, actually.
Yeah. I always get them fucked up because they're like right next door to each other, but they're so similar but so different.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Viking gods and the Celt gods. They're both the exact same fucking thing, but they have different names.
Yeah. But so, yeah, basically his birthday would have been that time in December. And so when the church was trying to get people to be all into their, like, hey, listen, we got this dude, and, like, he's like the son of God. Like, God rolled up on Mary and was like, yo, bitch, spread that shit for me. And was like, plop, plop, plop. And she had his kid, and he was born on this day. Y'all should celebrate it. Other people are like, no, we've already got holidays at that time. They're like,
oh, no.
Oh, we should totally bring your aspects of your holidays into our holiday so you'll be more down with our holiday.
Like Down syndrome?
Maybe it was more like,
exactly.
You know how people like to brag about their kids? Maybe it's a bunch of fathers in a room. It's like, my kid Mithras, he dies, he comes back to life. My kid, he dies, he comes back to life, he can walk on water.
That's right.
My kid, not only does he die and come back to life and walk on water, but he can then turn that water to wine and get everybody here fucked up.
Exactly. That's what it turned into. It's a big bragging thing.
Like, and then then while all that shit's happening on, guys like, that's my boy. That's my boy right there. Everybody on the baseball team in the stands, look at my boy. That's mine.
Could be the, it depends on what Jesus we're talking about. Are we talking about the Jesus from outer space? Or are we talking about...
Oh my, don't remind me of that.
The fucking Mormon video? So...
That video.
I didn't get a chance to watch that. Would you give me a quick recap?
I'll tell you my favorite part of that video.
Well, so basically the concept is that in Mormonism there's supposedly like, was it Elohim, who is basically like the
Elohim.
God of gods?
Yes.
And he lives on this planet somewhere else with like all his celestial brides where they have celestial sex all the time, and he has all these kids. Mm-hmm. And so one day, him and the other gods, who are mostly his kids, get together and they decide what they're going to do for the planet Earth. And Lucifer says, why don't we just make all of the people on Earth gods? And Jesus is like, no, fuck that. Why don't we make them work for being gods? And so Lucifer's like, no way, I'm not going to do that. So he revolts, and all those revolt with him he becomes a devil, and all the people revolt with him become demons. And then on Earth, all the people who side with him weren't the people who sided with him.
No, the people who, if you're with Jesus, then you're a good guy.
You're
if you're
white.
With Lucifer, you're a bad guy.
Yeah.
If you were neutral and you didn't take part of the fight, then you were black.
That's right.
Wow.
So if you minded your own business, you turned black.
Yeah.
So black people mind their own business is what Mormonism teaches us.
Yeah. Yes. That's where black people came from, is they didn't take part in the holy war between Jesus and Lucifer on Earth.
So here's one of my favorite parts. My actual favorite part. Rhyme style. 2 actuals.
Actually.
But, so, Lucifer's bad thing was he was going to force everybody to become a god, right? And Jesus is like, no, we need to give them a choice.
What?
Right. So, first of all, who's going to turn that down? Second of all, the whole point of Mormonism is to become a god and get your own planet and rule over it, mm-hmm. right? So Lucifer was just trying to cut through all the middleman bullshit and just give it to you in the first place. And in the video, the smug smile on Jesus' face when he's talking about how we should make it is the best thing ever.
The smug son of a bitch in that video. He's just
like, no.
Yeah.
Let's make him work for it.
Yeah. I mean, there's even more craziness in the video. Like, at one point, they're talking about how, like, Jesus came to the Native Americans and spoke to them, and then they fought the Romans.
Yes.
Like, and then all the gold was buried in Utah, and Joseph Smith found the shit, and it was all tablets.
Well, it was in upstate New York.
Oh my
But they
God.
even say in the videos, like, Joseph Smith, who is known for his tall tales.
Yeah.
Like, wait, so you're telling us he's known to be a fucking liar? And all these people are like, yes, you found these golden tablets from Jesus in outer space and all this? That sounds like a great idea. Let's follow you.
My other part of it that is hilarious is like, so Elohim took mortal form, which means he's in a body.
Oh, yeah.
He had sex with the Virgin Mary to give birth to Jesus. She's not a virgin. If you're in a physical body, you have sex with someone. They're not a virgin anymore.
That's another weird part in that video where it's like Elohim took physical form and he approached the Virgin Mary. Like, he just walks to her house, like knocks on her door, and he's like, "Hey,
Husband's right behind her. Yeah, I'm here to fuck you.
yeah,
You
I'm
know?
God, and I'm gonna get that.
That
You
lets
can
me know
watch,
there's some-
or you
there's
get the
some
fuck out."
There's some gullible people living in that household.
You want me to tell you why that shit probably caught on? I will tell you, this is no joke. I'm about to go old school Evan fucking biblical scholar. Elohim is actually of biblical nature. Like, back in the old Judeo-Christian tradition, Elohim is part of a name of a chorus of a group of angels. Because in heaven, before everything went to hell, pun intended, there were two courts of angels. You had the Bena Elohim, which are kind of like a round table. They were the discussion people. They would say, okay, this guy down here is fucking some shit up, so we need to send some people down there to show him who's boss. So once they come up with their plans, they send out these other dudes who are like the leg breakers, and they're called the Malik Yahweh. And if you notice, Yahweh and Elohim are both names of God. So that's supposed to represent two halves of God. The side of God that represents justice, or the side that represents patience, and the side that represents justice. So the Ben Elohim would just sit around, and they would send all these angels out. And once the angels would get there, they would be addressed as Satan. Satan is a word for adversary. So all the times that you hear this word Satan in the Bible, they're actually referring to angels. These angels that were sent by God to go punish people.
All right, I'm not having any more disrespect up
Exactly.
in here.
That's exactly what it
you
is.
You can only worship one God, and that's me, the Godfather. I'm going to send out my angels, and they're going to have a little talk with you, you see? We're going to have a little talk, and then you're going to learn to show some respect.
Exactly. It's like, Abraham, oh, that guy's giving me everything. Let me go take his son. Hey, Jimmy, get the fuck over here and go take out fucking Abraham's first kid. And that fucking Job asshole over there, go give him some pox on his fucking balls.
So the other thing too, while we were watching this video, and for those of you who haven't seen the video, is posted on the Facebook page, so you can watch it on there. Me and Shane were trying to figure out aspects of it, but we kept getting confused because I thought they just wanted to get superpowers in a spaceship, and Shane's like, no, they want a planet. And I was like, wait a minute, that's right. Scientologists are the ones who believe about space gods and getting spaceships and flying away and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then and so we realized these two are so similar, and Shane was like, well, no, but for Scientology you have to pay them. I was like, no, you have to pay them for Mormonism too. They tithe you 10%.
Yes, so I was like, well, then the difference between Scientology and Mormonism is a discount. Mormonism is much cheaper.
Yeah, but it's cheaper depending on your perspective. Like,
I guess it's how much money you have.
yeah, like if you're somebody like Mitt Romney, you're paying 10%. That's a lot of money. But if you're somebody like me, it's like $5. It's like nothing.
Well, I don't know. I'm sure in Scientology, if you're someone with millions of dollars, strangely yours cost more.
Oh, in
No,
Scientology,
you just start to get more back. That's all that
Yeah,
happens.
it is.
It's a business. It's a fucking business. That's all it is.
That's like that place they just built in Florida that was supposedly they have chambers to help you with your superpowers.
Yep.
Damn.
But
They have a temple up in Atlanta. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Anonymous did a protest there. I think it was back in 2010. They called the cops and were threatening legal reprimand and all kinds of shit.
Well, I mean, it's really Scientology is modern Mormonism. It's something really crazy and far out there, and so few people are going to get into it. But as time goes on, they sink more and more money into it. It becomes more and more acceptable. Mm-hmm. Because just the craziness behind all of it. Like, I remember reading a report that the guy who's the head of Scientology, no one has seen or heard from his wife in years. Like, she's just
I've
gone.
heard that too, yes.
And there are other members, people who joined the church and then left it. It's like, yeah, y'all probably want to look into that. She's probably dead. So, Craziness.
This is my thing. When it comes to religion, people can believe whatever they want. You know, I would tell my beliefs to somebody from fucking Ethiopia and they'd be like, you're fucking crazy. You know, lots of people would probably think I'm crazy, but it all depends on what you think makes sense to you. And as long as what makes sense to you does not physically harm others or force them to change their way of life because they don't agree with you, I could give two shits what you believe in. But the problem is, a lot of times people are just like, no, I can't accept the fact that you don't agree with me because this has to be it. And once they hit that point, they're too far gone and they don't need to be following that shit anymore because it's no longer something that is coming to them from love. It's something that's controlling them out of fear, which are two totally different things.
Being obsessed with anything is bad.
Unless it's Daenerys Targaryen and Emilia Clarke and Shiva and Beldandy. Because that obsession brings me lots of happiness.
So another crazy religious thing, or another religious group, is the Latter-day Saints. So this is what, and I don't really know a lot about them, but
Doesn't that sound like a football team or something? It's the Latter-day Saints!
But what's so crazy is that, like, they know there's only a certain number of them that...
Oh, like them and Jehovah's Witnesses, they're like, only 250,000 people actually get into heaven.
Kingdom
Yeah.
Hall motherfuckers. Yeah.
It's like, so, once you... That seems like you wouldn't want to include people in your religion, because once you go over 250,000, now someone's out.
Yeah.
And that's also, you're going to come out all the people in the past who've done it too.
That's
It's not
true.
just present. It's everybody forever. So it's one of these things where the church should be like, after it's 250 members, like, we're full. I mean,
Yeah,
heaven's
no
full,
vacancy.
guys. You're fucked.
Now, to be perfectly clear with that, it's kind of the same thing as Mormonism. It's not saying that all the other people who follow it won't go to heaven. They're just not going to go to the fucking country club. Okay? They can still get into the gates, but they don't get to go to the country club. They can still go in the city because there's different levels. Like in Mormonism, you have, I think it's terrestrial, celestial, and telestial, if I remember correctly. And that's kind of the same thing with the Latter-day Saints movement. It's... If you're the fucking top of the pops, you get in the super awesome area. And going back to the black thing with Mormonism's, I think until the 70s, did not believe that black people could get into heaven at all. They would always be, like, fucking hand servants and all this other bullshit. And I'm not sure if the Latter-day Saints also believe that, but if you don't believe me, you can look that shit up. It's public record. It's like, yep, if you're black, not only do you not fucking make your mind up, but you also don't get to come into the fucking country club.
You get to go to terrestrial heaven, I think.
Terrestrial heaven, yeah.
Yes, you get to go to the lower class. You're in the projects.
So what you're telling me is that there's still a goddamn income gap even in death?
Yes.
Man,
Yes.
that's terrible.
We're the 1%.
Yeah.
You're,
Oh,
follow
Jesus.
our religion and...
Literally.
And what's going to happen is it's going to be exactly the same as it is now. Except our crazy ass will be in charge of the planet instead.
Dude, I don't even know what to say.
You know what? I'm going to tell you the religion everybody needs to follow. They need to worship From.
What's that from?
F-R-U-M. John
think I know
Frum
that.
was a man who flew an airplane, and it crashed on this small little island, and it was a cargo plane, so it had a bunch of cargo it dropped off.
Oh.
So the people on the island worship him. It's a cargo, they're called cargo cults, where like these people in these little desolate areas, they don't understand this stuff, and like somebody suddenly comes down, they have all this stuff with them, and they're like, holy shit, this guy must be like a god. So they worship the return of From with all his bountiful cargo.
Kind of like the gods must be crazy. Did you ever see that film?
Oh, I love
Guy
that
dropped
movie.
The Coke bottle.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, that's a really good
Take
film.
it back, and he throws up and it falls and he clocks that kid in the head.
But you know what? Since we're talking about religion, let me just say this. You know, it doesn't matter who you worship, because in the end, there is only one person. There is only one elder thing. And you know, that is none other than Azathoth. And Azathoth, when the stars
The blind
align,
idiot god.
That's right. You know what? And when you
It
hear
makes a
those
lot of
fucking-
sense that Evan likes him. The blind
It's a
idiot.
good thing I can't see you, or I'd fucking get confused trying to make a joke. No, but when the stars align, Cthulhu will wake up. He will rise from Relea. And then, after he cleans the shit off the earth, the old ones will return. And Azathoth and his piping madmen will come back as the way they were. And we would be nothing more than dust.
What does piping Piping madman taste like? I know it's piping hot.
Piping hot madman.
Yes.
I don't know. I've had some crazy girlfriends, but I don't know if I'd call them mad women. Some of them tasted okay, I guess.
Oh God. I think.
What, are you too good to taste a woman, Kyle?
No.
You can't just take, you gotta give.
Oh man. I
And
think
this is the season. It's the season for giving. Okay? You know what? I talk a good game. I make jokes. But if some girl came up to me and she was like, hey, let's go, I'd be like, I have to go do laundry. I'd be like, she obviously has diseases that she's trying to spread around. And she sees me, a big hairy guy, and she knows that she just wants to kill me.
That's what it is.
she just assumes you have all the diseases, so it's okay.
Why me? I look like a fucking barrel of hair.
Exactly, like some big hillbilly or hobo.
You would think the person with all diseases would look like a fucking model with a bunch of sores on them or something.
What the hell?
Because they looked good, then they had sex, and then all of a sudden, scabies on their faces.
God.
It's good to know that ugly people don't get diseases.
Nope, because nobody has sex with them.
Oh,
That's why I don't have any VD, ladies and gentlemen.
Because, fortunately, I'm ugly.
Exactly.
I used to make a comment saying that I always wonder what it's like to go through life an idiot. Now I know, listening to Evan, what it's like to go through life as an idiot. Some of the stuff you say kills me. I can't tell if you're joking or just being stupid. That's what makes it so good.
That's exactly how it should be.
Yeah. In the back of his head, he's like, oh, good, he still thinks I'm not a complete idiot. He doesn't know if I'm joking or not.
I'll just say this. Grunge is one of my favorite comic book characters for a very specific reason.
Okay.
That's my only clue to you.
His hot girlfriend?
Oh my god, I miss Freefall so much. Roxanne Spaulding.
All right. Well, I think we've strayed quite a bit from what our original subject was, so we'll rein it back in.
Happy holidays.
All right. Well, I guess that's going to do it for this week's episode. So, until next time, I'm Kyle.
I'm Straight Edge.
And I'm...
Who am I?
Have a good one.